Well, this is an exciting episode. Oh, the energy that has been around for the last week or so, it's very exciting. And oh my giddy aunt, that's that's the saying I've got in my head. I think my mum used to say that. I'm not sure what that relates to, but however, I am talking about today the things that you need to let go of to increase your energy. And because I've had a massive energy shift, very exciting energy that's happening. And I'm going to share this with you in how you can utilize this for yourself, because I think it is super powerful and I'm all about sharing. Sharing is caring, right? But I want you to just consider for yourself, have you noticed how much change has been happening this year? Like, really, like, is it for yourself or for people around you, or even if you look at the global scale? Because I know for me, the last 12 months, there's been massive changes in my family. We've done house renovations, and there's been a massive change in my business that I just recently announced as well. I've also noticed it for my clients. Like, a lot of my clients have had massive things, happen in their personal life as well as big changes in their business. And, if we even look at, world politics, there's just been a huge change in the US elections. We won't go into that, but because it's a very, very emotional topic, I've noticed. I don't know if you've noticed that as well. However, there's a lot of change. I think we can all agree that there is a lot of change happening at the moment. And so the reason that I'm bringing this to your attention is because change is inevitable, right? Change is inevitable. There is always changes happening. So there are changes that happen around us that we feel like we have no control over, but there are also changes that happen within us that we can choose. And it's a very good idea to choose change before it chooses you. This is what I'm going to be talking about, because for most people are going about in their life and it's like, da, 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 life is going along and it's nothing terrible, but it's nothing fantastic either. And, think about, oh, things could be different, but not really doing anything about it. And most people are waiting for some magical change. Right? Lotto tickets are a sign of this. If you're buying lotto tickets, now, I don't mean this as a lotto ticket slur. My partner loves a good lotto ticket. I don't buy them anymore because, well, there's a couple of reasons, but one of them is I heard this recently, or I read it, and it's like lotto tickets are the way the government tax the poor. Yeah, think about that one. But however, most people are waiting for some kind of magical change to happen where suddenly they're going to just have this thing just like land in their lap and they're going to go, ta-da, now there's change. But this is the problem with that, is those magical changes rarely happen. Most commonly, what happens is there's some not so nice change. There's something that's can be a bit more traumatic that can have a bigger impact on your nervous system. Change that kind of feels like a bit like being hit with a hammer. That's usually the type of change that happens to people when they're not expecting it, not some magical rainbows and pot of gold at the end of the rainbow type change that people are hoping for. And so this is why we want to choose change and be open, create an open to change nervous system so that you're choosing change and you are doing it in a way where it may still be slightly uncomfortable for you, but you're prepared for it. Right? You're prepared for change. We just always got to be in this space that we're always prepared for change. I've got very flexible thinking. I've developed very flexible thinking in that I can be quite sure and congruent about what I'm doing in the moment and where I'm at and what I believe and what I think is important and where I'm spending my time and energy. And at the same time, I'm also aware that at any time I may get different information that leads me on a different path. And that's okay, right? I've got an open, flexible nervous system for change. And that's something that's developed. Okay, so choosing change, you can still be uncomfortable at times, but you'll be prepared for it. It's being prepared for change that's really important. And so recently, as I mentioned just before, I announced a big change in my business. Okay, so in the last week or so, I announced a big change in my business, and it's a change that's been probably 2 years in the making. It's 2 years ago when I achieved the highest level of being an NLP trainer, which was to become a master trainer. It was a 5-year program that I worked at, and achieved this level of master trainer. I suddenly had the realization that everything I'd been like working towards in my growth, I had achieved. So I was suddenly like, well, there must be more. There must be more. This isn't the end of the Toni Everard growth journey. There's going to be more. And so at that time, I was doing a lot more mentoring in my business of coaches and practitioners. And I was getting, some of my clients were starting to refer to me as their business coach, because I was doing coaching that was around their business and helping them with their business. So I thought, well, I need to make this more formal. And so I created a program, and that program is Elevate. And Elevate is a business and mindset coaching program that was designed specifically for NLP master practitioners and trainers. And so that was designed so that, because obviously I'd been running a successful company, training and coaching for several years, and it was my intention to help other people create successful businesses as well. So I created that program, and I launched that program, and people just took it up. Like, it was a natural progression. I launched it. I sold it before I had built it. I just had this concept. This is what it was going to be. I knew what I was going to do. People were interested, so I said, "Yep, come on in," and set it up, and away we went. And it's been incredible. There's been huge wins that people have got out there. People have cracked into their first 6 figures. They've created new programs. They've left jobs that they were in for over 20 years and gone full-time into their business. There's been huge amounts of shifts that have happened in there, and it's amazing. Now, the reason why that I could then make this decision about my business, which was to stop running public NLP trainings, is because when I looked at what I was doing, and I'd created Elevate was going really well. I also created the Coaching Circle Insiders, which is the subscription group, if I can get that out, that helps people in business with their mindset and everything. And that's going gangbusters as well. When I was doing that, I was like, okay, this is my focus. This is where I can see is my next level of helping people. And what had also happened as being an NLP trainer over, the last 8 years, what had happened is that I had taught some of my graduates to a level of master practitioner, and then they'd gone on to become trainers. And so what that meant was now there were other people that I taught that are out training. So 4 of my graduates have become trainers. 2 of them are running their own regular trainings. So I feel like I have developed a way for in my initial intention of people learning NLP, I had created a way for that to continue without me having to be the person who was training it, right? Which is brilliant. So I'm like, okay, my intention was NLP to get it out into the world. I've done that, and it can continue to do that through the work that I've done without me delivering that training, so that I can focus all of my energy on the mentoring and business coaching of these people who have these skills, so that they go out and help even more people, because that's the level of skill that I now have to do that at a really powerful level. And so this is part of this evolution, right? Now, the really interesting thing here is that, like I said, it took me a while to come to that decision, because being an NLP trainer, like I said, been a huge part of my identity, a huge part of my business. But here's the thing, right? When I announced and made it official that I was not going to teach NLP, public NLP trainings in 2025, and I announced it, there was this incredible energy shift that happened in this change. Huge amounts of energy have become available for me. So I'm going to be sharing with you the process for recognizing what you need to let go of to increase your energy. Okay, so huge amounts of energies have been released. By letting go of that part of my business, it has freed up a huge amount of energy for me to direct into the other things that I'm doing, right? And there was a massive outpouring of support on social media when I announced it. I think, the post that I announced it on has had well over 300 likes and 200 comments and things like that. Like lots of people reaching out to me about how can they work with me, like huge amounts of energy, right? That shifted. So I really want to go through this with you because it's such an important thing to really know for yourself and apply it to yourself. And I'm really, I love sharing, right? So this is what I'm going to get into today. So when it comes to change is much easier when you first of all allow yourself to tune into what you really want. Okay, what is it that you really want? So for me, when I tuned into it, I'm like, I really want to be business coaching. I really want to be helping people with their money mindset. I want to be creating my own programs because I've got huge amounts of creativity and I just understand the structure of people's thinking, and especially in business and around mindset and all of the intricacies around being a business owner. I'm off the charts with how I understand that with people and how intuitive I am in helping people develop programs and what's holding them back and all this kind of stuff. Like, it's just my thing. So when I allow myself to tune into that, I'm like, hey, this is really what I want more of, right? This is really what I want more of. So you have to think about this for yourself. What is it that you really want to have more of? And you need to allow yourself to do that without listening to any of the fears about whether you can or can't do something. Okay, whether you can or can't do something. All right, because if you allow, like, when you get this idea of what it is that you really want to be doing and how you want to be showing up, that's divine inspiration. Okay, that's divine inspiration. That's coming from your higher self. That's what you need to give the power to. When you listen to any of your fears or any limiting type thoughts that are like, oh, I'm not really good enough, or I can't really do that, or I'm not really capable, or no one's going to want to listen to me, or who am I to be doing that? Any of that kind of rubbish, right? You're giving that power, and that stuff does not deserve any of your power energy. None. It's false, right? It's like feeding the trolls. Don't do it. Give your power and energy to the divine inspiration, the things that you think, oh, I'd really love to be doing that. That's what you want to give energy to, right? And so it might be a new interest. It might be a new idea. It might be because you've reached a new skill level. It might be, this comes in because you've received some feedback. Okay, so I was getting people telling me I was their business coach for a long time before I actually decided I was a business coach, right? They were just saying this to me, like, oh, Toni's my business coach. I'm like, I thought I was your NLP coach and NLP trainer, but it was just I was moving that way and they were seeking that from me. So, sometimes it's from the feedback you receive. So if people are giving you consistent feedback about something, listen to that. Okay. The ideas about what it is you might want to do, they may come from, or what you do want to do might come from your own personal growth, because as you continue to work on yourself, you let go of all of that other limiting rubbish, new ideas pop forth, right? New ideas come into your head. Okay. So this is the thing. You just start off with thinking about what is it that you really want, right? What is it that you really want? What is it you really want to create for yourself? And then notice for you, what is it? Because like when we ever create change, right? Whenever you create change and you're adding something extra into your life, naturally something has to drop off, right? And ideally, you don't want that to be your free time, your sleep time, or, your self-care time or your personal relationships. I mean, if you're spending ridiculous amounts of time in that space, maybe some of it is, but you don't want it to be any of your essential stuff, right? So you got to look at, okay, what do I need to let go of? Right. And these are the things that you've got to look at that maybe they're parts of your business or parts of your life that feel less exciting for you, that feel like there's less challenge there for you. And I mean healthy challenge that helps you grow. They may be the things that aren't really growing in your business, or things that aren't really growing you. Okay, so you're going to notice what areas of it. It could be things that, once were really important to you, now they're not so much, right? Like it may be, family when your kids were really little and maybe you were breastfeeding, or, you had, kids that weren't quite at school. They're going to take up more of your time, but now maybe they are at school, or they're actually teenagers, or there's some other kind of element of where they don't need as much of you, and you can let go of some of that responsibility, right? That may be what it is. It could be any kind of reason, right? That you can look at what is it that you can let go of that's going to allow you to bring in more of what you want. And so then the next thing that you need to do is, as you're thinking about this thing that you really want to do in your business, right? What do you want to bring in your business in creating this change? You're going to look at your numbers. Okay, look at your numbers. Is this something that I can literally create the kind of income that I want from it? Because especially if you're looking at business is numbers, and things need to be profitable, and it needs to make sense in the numbers. I talk about numbers all the time, right? So you need to look at your numbers and see, if I get into this thing that's I'm really excited about, does it work? Does it work from a business kind of perspective? Okay, so I knew for me when I announced that I was not going to do NLP training anymore, I clearly knew that I had offers that I can focus and leverage that will bring in, that replaces the money. In fact, I've already started replacing most of that money that NLP training was bringing in anyway. And in fact, I can leverage it more. I have more time and energy available to deliver more things high value, right? So you look at it from that perspective. Is there a demand? Is there a demand for what you're thinking about? Okay, launch something, commit to something, float some ideas out, see, is there an uptake? All right, so long before I decided I wasn't going to be NLP training anymore, like a couple of years ago when I launched Elevate, I had this idea. It was exciting for me. I put it out there, and instantly people joined. Instantly people joined because I knew their problems, I knew how to solve them, and I sold that. I put it out there before I built it. I didn't go and build a whole program and then see if anyone was interested. I put it out to people to say, this is what I'm looking at creating. Here's a launch offer. Would you be interested? Yes, they took it up. Lots of people took it up. It was great. And so that continued to grow. And with Elevate, alongside of the Coaching Circle Insiders, which is the subscription group where I go in and deliver high value coaching sessions every Friday morning, I create a recurring revenue for my business. So it was no longer that I'm completely looking for like one-off sales. I've got recurring revenue in my business, and that's what I'm focusing on building. So that again, looking at numbers, my business is set up so that I get paid my wage every week, regardless of what's happening. Because I set it up like that, right? So you really want to think about this in what you want to create for you in your business. And so thinking about, okay, what is it I really want? Does it make sense? Is this something that I can launch? If I'm going to bring something new in, what is it I need to let go of? right? Is there a part of my business that's not really creating the revenue I want? Or is there, on the session I ran in the Coaching Circle Insider, someone said, oh, do you know what? There's some modalities I'm ready to let go of, right? There's some modalities I'm ready to let go of and not be part of that offering anymore. That happens sometimes, right? That very much happens. I've worked with someone who was a tarot card reader and became a coach. She eventually stopped doing the tarot readings because she was focused on coaching and what she was doing there. She was complete with the tarot readings, right? I've worked with people who are massage therapists, and they go into creating, like becoming coaches, and then they let go of what they're doing in massage because they're focused on doing coaching. Like, there can be lots of ways that you move into what is your next thing. And so this is really important, right? This is really important to know, is that just because you let go of something, it doesn't mean that you're rejecting it, right? It doesn't mean that you're rejecting it. It can just mean that you're complete with that. I'll give you another example of this. When I teach hypnosis training and NLP practitioner training, especially off of hypnosis training, one of the easiest first things for people to do is to help people stop smoking, right? It's very, very easy. You can help people stop smoking really easily with hypnosis. And it's just a no-brainer, because like the average smoker now is spending easily, 5-10 grand plus a year on cigarettes, right? It's mental. And you can help someone stop smoking for like $500 or $1,000 or whatever. That investment in them stopping smoking saves them, right, nearly 20 grand a year. Like, it's easy, no brainer. However, here's the thing. When you do stop smoking for a while, there's like a limit where you get to where it's like, I don't really want to do helping people stop smoking anymore. Right? Because it becomes easy. It's like, you could be doing deeper work, whatever else. So as you grow into, now I'm helping people, I'm coaching people and doing other things. Now it's like, yeah, I might give away that stop smoking. I'm not really fussed about that. I've seen people do that with weight loss as well. Some people are like, yeah, I can help people with weight loss. But then they get more into like leadership training. Is there more of their thing? They're like, yeah, I'm not really worried about doing weight loss anymore. I'll let that go. So this is the thing you can be looking at. What is it that you let go of? Okay. So you've got an idea, you get excited about it, you really look at your numbers. Is this something that's going to work for me? And then look at what is it in my business that, I'm not attached to anymore. I want to let go. I feel complete in, or it's not serving the same purpose that it once did, or I've achieved what I set out to achieve, right? And then you want to be able to let that go, and you want to be able to announce this, right? Announcing it. When you announce change like this, it has a massive effect, right? Because this is the thing. When I announced it publicly that I was stopping NLP training, as I mentioned before, there was a huge amount of support that came out. Like, I've had, so many people get in touch with me, like huge amount of support, huge amount of interaction and engagement on those posts. And people are interested in what I'm doing now, right? Because here's the thing. When you take responsibility for your growth and you step into growth and back yourself, the universe and other people will support you as well. 100%. It's exactly how it works. And you suddenly have an influx of energy that's available to you to focus on what you're creating, rather than using that energy to hold on to what no longer serves you, right? That no longer serves you for your highest attention. Okay, so this also applies to letting go of old identities that are stopping you from getting to your next level. As I said, I just did this deep session on this in the Coaching Circle Insiders. And, some of the things that come up in there that people suddenly had these huge ahas about was like, oh, you know what? Yes, I need to let go of thinking that I have to be able to do whatever I want whenever I want it. This can be a thing when you start a business, right? This is a thing. And in fact, this is something I had when I started my business. all I wanted was flexibility, which really meant no one was going to tell me what to do, when to do it, where I had to be, how much I was going to be paid, anything else. It was a bit rebellious, but it's not uncommon. And so if your business isn't getting going, it could be that you're holding on to this old kind of thing of like, I want to be able to do whatever I want when I want. Well, guess what? That doesn't actually work until you've got a successful business, right? When you've got a successful business, then you can do what you want when you want, because you build a business that pays you to give you the freedom and flexibility to create what it is that you want. Right? So that might be something that you need to let go of. And this is the thing. To build the new, you have to let go of the old, right? And holding on to the old wastes your energy. It completely wastes your energy. Holding on to limiting beliefs wastes your energy. Holding on to things that no longer serves you wastes your energy, right? Worrying about what people think wastes your energy, right? Not going after your dreams wastes your energy. So you've got to let go of the old identities, the old behaviors, the old things that you used to do that you're complete with. They're not serving you anymore. They're not serving you on your highest intention. You got to be let go of thinking that you're not good enough to achieve your dreams. You got to let go of thinking that you're responsible for everyone and everything in your household. You're not, right? And honestly, if you feel like everybody needs you, I would put bets on, my friend, that you'll find underneath there is probably some kind of worry that if people don't need you, that you'll be abandoned or you'll be rejected. It's not true, by the way, right? You don't have to be a people pleaser. You don't have to be doing everything for everyone else. You don't have to be there and everyone relying on you to be loved. You can be your own person, creating your own success, and be loved and be valued and be respected. It's true. Would I lie to you? So stop worrying about what other people think, right? All of that stuff wastes energy. So remember the steps. Allow yourself to consider what it is that you really want. Allow in that inspiration from your higher self that whispers to you your real potential, right? The potential that you have to do amazing things in the world. Allow yourself to recognize what parts of yourself, your business, your identity that you're going to leave behind. Commit to that change. Put it in action. Get feedback, right? And you'll just free up so much energy, so much enthusiasm, and so much excitement to pour into your new projects. You will just be blown away by how quick things shift. So my question for you is, what do you need to let go of to release the energy that will take you to your next level of life and business?